Microsoft Build. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Hello World. I'm Myra Wenzel, and I'm joined by my co-host James Singleton. Um,
Hello.
yes, welcome, Jamie.
Thank you.
And
We have an exciting
build
show today.
this, build this tomorrow. Registration is open, and we are gonna talk about everything that we need to know, all the last minute details about Microsoft Build. But before we jump into that, um, let's introduce ourselves, Jamie.
Sure. I'm Jamie Singleton, Program Manager at Microsoft for your .NET community, and Myra is actually on my team.
Yeah, so we both work for Scott Hanselman, which you might know. I'm a senior program manager on the .NET team. In my role, I manage the .NET website. So if you go to download the .NET SDK, that's the project that I'm responsible for. Um, and so, how have you arrived on Hello Microsoft Build? I think it's your first time here.
It is my first time on the show. I'm very excited to be here and talk about all the goodies that we will be talking about today. It's an exciting week.
It is for sure. And we are here on the Channel 9 studios. For those who remember, we are in town for what we'll be doing during Build, which is we're going to be hosting the interstitial programming. So can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing, Jamie?
Sure. So we'll be your in between the sessions. We'll be guiding you through the different technical sessions that will be happening, the different really awesome one-on-one consultations, and the different 3D printing labs. And we'll essentially be hanging out with you in between all of the amazing content that we'll be sharing.
Yes, and I can't wait to see the reaction from the community and reading those tweets as we go live. And we both are first-time hosts, so wish us luck tomorrow. And let's go through some of the different zones that we have for Microsoft Build.
Yeah, so there's a lot happening at Build this year. We have a few different zones. One of the zones that I'm really excited about is called the Student Zone, where the Imagine Cup happens. And Donovan Brown, here with us today, will actually be hosting the Imagine Cup. We have the Connection Zone, where you can ask the experts and get really in touch with our engineers. We have one-on-one consultations, which you can sign up for, which is direct communication and one-on-one with our engineering managers. And as long as you're registered, you get access to all of that stuff. We even have the Learning Zone, where you can learn live sessions. And Navin today will actually guide us through that and talk us through what's going on in the Learning Zone.
Yes, we have awesome guests that will be covering some of these content zones, uh, the themes for Build. Um, And we are live on Learn TV, so we have a chat feature. So use that, and this is the same chat that we're gonna be using for Microsoft Build. So you have that way to communicate with us, ask your questions if you're not sure. Um, that's where you go to talk to us and report things and ask us where you're lost, or you think that's something it's awesome. Send us your reactions. And so to test that, let's use the chat to ask some Microsoft Build trivia.
Yes. Yes, we
All
have
right.
trivia this year.
So the first question is, what year was the first year of Microsoft Build? So if you know the answer, type it in on the
Put it in
chat.
the chat. Yeah, second trivia question is what year was Visual Studio Code announced at Microsoft Build? If you know, make sure to put it in the chat. We'll reveal the answers later.
And this is about our guest. What year was Donovan Brown's first Microsoft Build keynote?
Ooh, that's a good one. And then our final trivia question for the show is what year was Azure Cosmos DB announced at Build? And make sure to put your answers in the chat, and we'll give you all of the live answers at the end of the show.
Those are hard, man.
I know.
All right. And use the chat. And so take it away, Jamie.
Thank you. So earlier, Myra had a chance to sync with Microsoft Developer Relations Corporate Vice President Jeff Sandquist to get his thoughts on Microsoft Build. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Jeff, for joining us on Hello Microsoft Build.
Thanks for having me. It's really great to be here.
Why is Microsoft Build important?
I think you may have just asked, why do developers matter? Why do developers matter? I mean, I've spent my entire career caring about developers, and Microsoft Build is our quintessential developer event. It's the celebration of developers. And I'm so excited because, hey, every day I get up, how do I make the world better for developers? And with this being our overall developer event, it matters so much because, hey, developers are so important to Microsoft.
And what can we expect during Build? Like, what are the things that you're excited about?
Well, when I think about an event like Build, right, in Microsoft, we were founded, right? Two nerds, Bill and Paul. What did they do? Well, they built, a tool for developers. It was basic for the Altair. Now, the next thing they did was they didn't go out to do a procurement or a sales call. No, they went to a developer event. They went to an event and shared what they worked on and what was cool. So what excites me, first of all, about our overall developer events is doing just that. Tune in tomorrow morning for our keynote, for the opening first keynote for the event, and watch about all the different announcements. This is really about setting context. This is about sharing what we're working on and really connecting with the overall industry and really celebrating the developer community.
It's so awesome that it's a free event, so we can touch developers all over the world, right?
With our virtual events, that's been a really special thing that's really happened is, a very small percentage of our customers can ever attend an event like Build, right? The travel, the time away from work, and even the costs. So Microsoft Build, it's free. Next, it's online, it's virtual, it's interactive. Our engineers coming from our homes and our studios to share, the excitement we have for the products we have. There are questions at Build. Our engineers deliver these sessions. There are questions that can only be answered by the engineer that built that product. Go deep with them and connect. And also celebrate. This last year has been hard for many of us. And we as a community, especially developers and what we have to go build, the world is going to require us all to come together to go help build and create the next great thing that, to really go help people. And that's a part of Build that I think, all of us need to come together and just talk as a community through sessions and try and recreate some of those hallway connections that once happened at an event. It really matters. And the developers truly, truly are the agents of change, the innovators. They're the people that see the world differently and how technology can really solve and make the world a better place. I'm so excited that, at Build, we'll be able to give some of the tools and actually we'll be there to listen and learn to you on how those tools can be better for you.
And hopefully we can inspire the next wave of developers and generation to build those products that are going to change lives and change the world.
Wait, you mentioned the next generation. Make sure you tune into the Imagine Cup segment of our show. It is going to be amazing. I've been getting a bit of previews of how that's going to go. That is phenomenal. I'm so excited about the student lounge or the student zones that we have here and the connection zones, whether you're a student or there's a student in your family, or maybe you're an aspiring student. Please check into that. The show, is really about that connection, right, between our engineers, the people that build our products, and you, the developer community. And we're really looking forward to doing that. We're going to be working the overall event, doing things unplugged and breakout sessions and all sorts of things throughout the event, like the cloud, our cloud skills challenge. What I want to make sure, though, that we also will do is that, hey, Learn TV will be running some programming as the event finishes. We're going to be there and we'll pick up at the end of each day with a set of programming that you're going to want to tune in. And we have some bunch of special things planned here as well.
That's awesome. There's so much happening during Build. So what happens after Build is over? What can you do after it ends?
The show must go on, right? And we're going to be out there and starting to reconnect to the community where it is safe to do so through third-party events. We have our Microsoft Reactor spaces worldwide. We're going to be running the best of Build, going through in your local languages, delivering those in our physical spaces where they're open and safe to do so, but also simulcasting here on Learn TV Live those sessions. Again, it's not just rerunning the sessions, it's going deep and actually bringing that context that you need to go build the next great thing.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us today. And don't miss out everything, all the goodness that is coming with Microsoft Build.
Tune in live tomorrow morning. We're just getting started. And it isn't just about the breakout sessions. Follow the Build hashtag as well out on Twitter, and you can really see a back channel of the event and what the community is doing. Hey, make sure you say hello either by tagging me in Twitter or reaching out during the event. Thank you for attending Build, and we'll see you online tomorrow.
Thank you, Myra and Jeff. That was great. Speaking of the Learning Zone, let's welcome Karina Ung and Navin Chand on the show to talk to us about the Learning Zone. Hello. So Karina and Navin.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie, how's it
Hi,
going?
Karina.
Sorry.
All
Live
great.
TV. Yeah.
We are live. So let's talk about the Learning Zone.
Yeah, super excited about the Learning Zone. So for those that don't know, at Microsoft Build, the Learning Zone is really the central hub at the event for all learning activities, where you can actually find the Student Zone, which we'll have Donovan Brown talk about later on the show. You can also find the Imagine Cup there, but we also have additional learning activities, which Navin, I'd love for you to share more about. Learn Live. Tell us more about what Learn Live is.
Yeah, absolutely. So Learn Live, for those of you that might not be familiar from having maybe already seen it on Learn TV at some point, Learn Live is really about following Learn modules with subject matter experts during the event. So, that way you can watch them go through, hear their additional insights beyond what's on screen. You'll be able to also ask questions along the way and, get those answered by other subject matter experts that are kind of monitoring the chat. So that way you're prepared when the session's over, go into the Learn platform, do the same module and kind of get ahead that way. So during Build, we're going to have 8 different sessions, and we're going to cover a whole bunch of different topics, everything from Microsoft Graph and making apps for teams to security and identity topics and Power Apps, and a really wide range. So be sure to go into the calendar, add it to your schedule builder, and we're excited about those.
Awesome. It's a great way to get your hands dirty while at the event building your skills, right?
Exactly.
So for those who really like to have a challenge, like to be challenged, I definitely would recommend checking out the Microsoft Build Cloud Skills Challenge, also in the Learning Zone. Navin, can you share more about what this is and what people can get out of it?
Yeah, for sure. So again, the Microsoft Build Cloud Skills Challenge is back, and we're really excited about that. This year, we're going to have 5 different challenges that you can choose from, and really think about each challenge as kind of a collection of modules that on a particular theme or topic. And this year, we're kind of aligning them to the 4 themes that you're going to see throughout the event. So it should be really easy to follow along and decide which challenge is best for you. We also have one that's specific to intro to developer skills. So again, you don't have to be really deep into this stuff. We have something for everyone in there. And you will have 2 weeks to do it. So it starts tomorrow, but you will have 2 whole weeks to kind of get the content done. Do 1 challenge, do 2, do all 5, and then you get a chance to win some cool prizes. And the prizes, this time, we've identified some prominent Microsoft leaders that you could potentially win some time with. So I'm going to name drop a little bit. I'm going to name drop Mark Rusinovich, Donovan Brown, who's actually on the show today, so you'll get a chance to see him. Amanda Silver. But Karina, I know you know the names. So if there was one person that you want to meet, who do you want to meet?
Well, for me, it definitely would be Nat Friedman, because I used to work with him at Xamarin, or for him, actually. So I know his time's very limited with probably most of these leaders. I'd love to just take some time to ask him what's new, what's different, what's changed. So that would be my pick if I were to win the challenge.
Awesome, awesome. And I know that there's a lot of different things going on beyond just what's in the learning zone. There's a lot of things just about Microsoft Learn and Learning going on during the event. So Karina, I know that there's a few things you can bring up as well.
Yeah, there's a couple more things related to certifications, actually, for those who are interested. Ask the Expert sessions. We have 2 Ask the Experts discoverable in the Connection Zone related to Microsoft certifications. They are live sessions. This is a great opportunity to really ask your questions and get them answered by our experts. They are in 2 different time zones, so make sure you check that out. We also have table talks on Microsoft certifications and how the community and the certifications can actually help you achieve more. These are also live. They're interactive discussions with experts as well as those in the community. So definitely check that out. That's also available in the Connection Zone. Lots of learning. Microsoft Build is a great opportunity to learn, connect, code. One final question for you, Navin. What would you recommend people do if they want to continue learning? They're at Microsoft Build. What about after the event?
Yeah, that's a great question. So again, Build, as awesome of an event as it is, there's still so much to keep doing after the event. And what do you do? Where do you start? So many places. But what we've done, if you go to the Learning Zone, starting tomorrow and then carrying forward, we have a URL. It's aka.ms/learn@build. Very simple. That's your one place, your one destination really to start that continued learning path. So make sure you check it out.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. We'll bring back Jamie to talk more about what's next. Or Myra. Maybe Myra will come back on.
Yes, it's me. So we are gonna now jump back into Student Zone, and I'm so excited to welcome our next guest, someone that I admire so much, Donovan Brown, to talk about Imagine Cup.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I am hanging in there. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me to the show.
Oh, you're welcome. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, since we might have some people that are new to Microsoft Build? And
Sure. Yeah, my name's Donovan Brown. I'm a partner program manager on the Azure Incubations team. So I work on a team that brought you CADA and Dapper, and we're thinking about what you're going to need next. And that's the team that I work on. We try to go build those things and provide them for you as quickly as we can.
that's so cool. Like innovation.
Yeah, it's a fun job.
Tell us a little bit about what attendees will see when they tune into Imagine Cup Championship show at Build.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. You're going to see some student developers sharing their passions with us that actually have a positive impact on our future. And that's just, it's awe-inspiring. Every year that I'm asked to participate, I'm blown away by what these student developers are capable of doing. And it's fantastic. So do not miss it. It'll be something that you'll be talking about after Build for sure.
And I heard this was your first year as a host of the Imagine Cup Championship. So tell us how it went. What was your favorite part?
It's an honor is the only way I can describe it, because I've been lucky enough to participate in the Imagine Cup for 3 or 4 years now. And every year they asked me, I was like, sure, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. And then when they asked me to host this year, I was floored. I just couldn't believe I was going to be given the opportunity to have such a prominent role in such an important event for Microsoft. As far as my favorite part, I'm just going to leave you with this. It won't make sense right now, but I promise you, after you watch this show, it'll make sense. I wish I had a cow. You'll understand why I want a cow after you watch the show, but I really wish I had a cow. It's amazing what these student developers have done this year.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it, what you're talking about. So I'm always very inspired by these student developers and Imagine Cup. So what do you think other students can take away from these teams?
What I think they can take away from it is the ability to take your passion and make it what you do every day. These students have taken their passion, added some Microsoft technology to it, and had a positive impact on the world. Even if they don't win the world championships, they've all already had an amazing impact, and they've all already won. Some people have taken their ideas and turned it into their daily job. It's like they've taken that idea and they've run with it full force. And I think that's what I would take away from this, is that what you do for fun, what you have a passion in, can actually be your job. I'm living proof of that. I would happily do my job for free, and I'm shocked every day that I get paid to do it. And that's what these student developers are doing. They're taking their passion and they're realizing that, wow, this can actually be my job.
Yes, no, there are so many opportunities on our field, and so much that still to be discovered and created. So we need those student developers to keep bringing their passion. But if you could go back to your younger self, and you would enter Imagine Cup, what would you say to yourself?
I would say be bold. Really push your passion to 11. Like just turn it up all the way, because what I've noticed when I watch and participate in the Imagine Cup is that's what these students are doing. They're not just making something a little bit better. They're completely changing the way we think about a problem and addressing that problem with a new, fresh perspective. And I think that's what's so inspiring. And not only how they solve the problem, but even why they solve the problem. That they listen to things that are happening around them and figure out that I can make this better. I don't have to wait till I'm a grown up. I don't have to wait till I have a job. I can actually take my passion, take my idea, take my creativity today and start having a positive impact. So I would tell the younger Donovan, hey, first of all, get off the roof, because I wanted to be a stuntman. So I was probably on a roof somewhere trying to jump off. So I would say, get off the roof and then go figure out how you can have a positive impact on the world, because there's people your age out there doing that. When I look at the student developers today, I'm always thinking, wow, I mean, I wasn't doing what you were doing at your age. And it's so awe-inspiring to see them pushing their passions to the limit. And I mean, and it's amazing. Like they are literally having a positive impact on everyone's future that's around them. And it's amazing.
No, it is for sure. And I certainly wasn't as creative and as inspiring at their age. I was trying to figure out what will I do with my life? What will I actually
Exactly.
do? I am happy that I chose computer science and this career. I'm so happy. So besides Imagine Cup, what else is happening for students at Build?
The student zone is happening. This is a great place for you to go and get beginner level content that you can use to learn a new language, a new technology, or spark a new passion. And what you learn could actually win the Imagine Cup in the future. But it's not just for students. It's for anyone who wants to learn something new. So make sure you check out the student zone inside the learning zone while you're at Build.
Thank you so much, Donovan. And I think now we're going to bring Jamie back.
Hello. Well, that was amazing. Love
was.
learning anything from Donovan is great. Let's bring back Navin and Karina from the Learning Zone.
Hiya.
Let's actually talk to Priyanka. I know we have some one-on-one consultations at the event, and I would love to know a little bit more.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Priyanka.
Yeah, so the one-on-one consultations is an opportunity for Build attendees to schedule 45 minutes with a Microsoft engineer. And, basically these 45 minutes are customized to the attendees' needs. So from getting started to discussing advanced production workloads, the attendees will spend this time talking to the engineer just on their solution. And, basically this is something that we piloted last Build and received amazing feedback from attendees on how this sort of filled the gap in the human connection that was missing at digital events. So we scaled the program, collaborated with a lot more engineering teams at Microsoft, and now we are providing 38 different services across 6 technologies, and really glad to be back at Build.
Wow, that's amazing. So don't forget to register, and you can sign up for those one-on-one consultations online. Let's go ahead and bring everybody back. Let's bring back Karina and Naveen. Let's bring back Myra. And oh yes, Donovan, it's a whole party now. Amazing.
And we promised you Jeff the trivia answers to you. So let's go to it. So the first one was, what year was the first year of Microsoft Build? So
so to really give you a flavor for how such a real-world application can get built on top of Windows Server 8, SQL Server, Windows Azure, as well as connect to a variety of devices, I wanted to invite up on stage Jeff Sandquist and Dan Fernandez to walk you through some demos. Jeff?
Hey, man. Thank you. This is the Viper Smart Start. It connects your car to the cloud. Today, I'm excited to show you how Viper is looking to take the next step in cloud enabling your car. You know, I think about things like, imagine if you had a heads-up display on your windshield using augmented reality and using Bing to be able to look off in your periphery and see businesses off in your distance and decide where you're going to go for gas or things like that. Wouldn't that be awesome? So I am absolutely confident that me and my team, that with our tools and the tools that all of you use, that we can go build the apps to go do that.
All right, so that was 2011. Let's go to our next trivia question.
What year was Visual Studio Code announced at Build? Anyone? Anyone?
I think it was 2015, which is the first Build I ever attended. So I think that was that year, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, ding, ding, ding. Donovan is correct. Let's take a look.
What I'd like to do is invite Scott Hanselman here on stage to show off our Azure App Service and what you can build with it.
I feel like perhaps I haven't sufficiently blown your mind, and I promised a number of people that I would do that. So let's take a moment and then switch over to our Macintosh here. Now on this Mac, you can see that I can load up Visual Studio Online, I can manage my code, and write my cross-platform .NET applications. And I can do that using any one of the many editors that one would use in a Mac, like Emacs, Sublime, and things like that. But inevitably, I find myself going into Spotlight on a Mac and just wishing that there was a member of the Visual Studio family that I could somehow run. And now there is.
That was my first Microsoft build in 2015.
All right,
Very
the
cool.
next trivia question was, what year was Donovan Brown's first Microsoft Build keynote? So maybe he knows the answer.
You can't answer, Donovan.
So it was 2016 that was Donovan's first time doing a keynote for us, and we have the clip, so let's take a look.
What I'd like to do is invite Donovan on stage to show it off.
Thank you, Scott. It is such an exciting time for DevOps right now. DevOps is the union of people, process, and products to enable continuous delivery of value to our end users. With Visual Studio Team Services and the addition of Xamarin and Hockey App into the Microsoft family, we have everything that you need to enable DevOps at your organization. The cool thing is there's nothing to install. There's no devices to buy, and there's no VMs to manage, because we host it for you in the cloud. All you have to do is focus on your application and leave the rest to us.
How do you feel watching that, Donovan?
Yeah, it still makes the hair on my arm stand up. Preparing for a Build keynote is like nothing you've ever done. And I just remember walking off the stage thinking, that was awesome, and I can't wait to do it again. And I've been lucky enough to do it every year since. It's just amazing.
That's inspiring. So our last trivia question, what year was Azure Cosmos DB announced at Build? Does anyone remember? In 2017, Scott Guthrie announced Azure Cosmos DB. And can we take a quick look at that?
As you use the cloud to reach new global users, your data also needs to scale. Scale in terms of the volume of data that you're managing, the different variety of data models that you want to represent inside your application, and above all, in terms of the performance that you need to achieve. And each next generation application really needs a strategy to handle all these different types of scenarios. And today, I'm also really excited to announce Azure Cosmos DB, which is the first globally distributed multi-model database service that delivers turnkey horizontal scale-out with guaranteed millisecond latency and uptime. And it's designed to explicitly enable these types of next-generation apps.
That was amazing. Please tune in tomorrow for Build 2021. We have exciting news, announcements, and all the trips down memory lane. Well, we will make a few more for years to come. Thanks,
Bye, everyone.
everyone.